are not going to believe this, but about 2 weeks ago, I went on a date with a guy, and on the phone and everything, he was very charming and seemed very confident, which can have its pluses or its minuses. But during dinner, he kept telling me how fortunate it was that he and I met. He kept reassuring me that we were lucky that we met. And I just kind of let it roll a little bit. But then he started waving to people in the other tables. Hey man, how are you doing? And I thought, well, maybe they're staring at him, and that's his way of responding to them. Like, stop staring. Hey, how are you? Like, I see you. Stop staring at me. You make me uncomfortable. That's what I thought was happening. But he just kept, and he checked his phone a couple of times, and I finally said, well, what would be the number one reason that I would want to be in a relationship with you? And I said it very like we were playing a little 20 questions game. And he said, well, you're going to end up alone. I said, I'm going to end up alone. He said, yeah. He said, you're a woman. It's 58 years old. Your kids are all grown and gone. And, you need to go ahead and settle down with somebody, or you're going to end up alone. I said, oh, okay. Now, I might mention that when we got to the restaurant, we met in the lobby of the restaurant and we walked in. He walked with a very serious limp. And I had asked him about it when we first sat down. Is your leg okay? And he said, yeah. He said, I hurt my leg. He said, a while back. And I was like, okay, I don't know what a while back was. But in his profile and on the phone, he told me about he did skydiving and that he did jet ski, not jet skiing, water skiing. And he did all these other great things. And now that we're sitting at the table, I realize that he's telling me things that he did 20 and 30 years ago, not things that he does now. And so also while we're at the table, he took a pill and I said, what is that? And he said, oh, he said, it's my blood pressure. He said, if I'm going to eat anything other than a salad, he said, I got to take this or I'm going to have high blood pressure or my heartburn. And so then he took another one. So he's taken two medications. I don't know if they were prescription or his own over the counter sort of thing, and he's got a limp. And now he's telling me that if I don't hurry up and settle down, I'm going to be alone. I said, oh, okay. So I let him talk a little bit longer. And the more he talked, the more I realized that he was not self confident. He was pompous. And I was like, okay. So I started kind of speaking back about it, like, well, my life's pretty good by myself. And he was like, oh, no. He said, there's no lady wants to grow old by herself. And I jokingly said, some of us are already old. And I meant referring to him. He said, yeah, you don't want to be old by yourself. I said, oh, okay. So after dinner, I just kind of got through that. I didn't give him my peace of mind. After dinner, I thanked him and I left. And then I never answered his call again for about 4 or 5 days. And finally, I answered him in a text and said, I don't think we're a good suited match, but good luck to you. Because what am I going to gain from telling him off? I don't need to have a last word. I don't need to tell him off. It ain't my problem. I'm not here to teach him, educate him, or help him grow. That is not my purpose in life. So yesterday and today, this guy has been texting me to death about, hey, look, I don't think we should end up alone. We should really give this another chance. I texted him back and said, no, I think I'm going to sit over here and have my cake and eat it too. These guys are so mistaken that we're going to be lonely by ourselves. We're not. We're just not going to be lonely by ourselves. Would it be nice to have a life partner? Absolutely. Are we all hoping that we find that great life partner? Absolutely. If we don't, is it going to be the end of everything? Absolutely not. And these guys just are not grasping that. They need to step up and bring positive, good things to our lives. We're not looking to be a housekeeper. We're not looking to be their maid. We're definitely not looking to be their nurse. And this whole nurse of the purse at this age, let's talk about it. Are you going to fall in love with somebody at the age of 58 and someday in the future, you may have to look after them with their health? Yes, that's a real possibility. But don't you want to have a few years of loving and enjoying and exploring and all of those things first? Why would you instantly go match up with a guy who's fallen apart? You can come for me if you want to, but I'm not. I'm not. That doesn't mean that the person I do fall in love with and build a life with, that they're not going to fall apart in time, but I want to enjoy some of those years first. And these guys, so many of these guys, they didn't take care of themselves. They got divorced when they were 38, 40 years old. They've been running hard. And now that they're chasing 60, now they like, oh shit, my hip hurts and this and that. And I didn't eat right and I haven't taken care of myself. I haven't been to the doctor in 11 years. And now I need a woman to look after me. And that is not where we women are. We've been taking care of ourselves. And most of us have been taking care of someone else too. And we're done with it. We're done with it. We're in good shape and we're going to stay that way. And the guy that we get involved with, he's going to bring something good to the table or he ain't going to sit at the damn table.